A long time ago, before the Northwestern Railway was constructed, there was a small little cottage near a beach where the soon-to-be Brendam docks would be built. There was a family who lived in the cottage. The family had two little boys, Emmett and Bartholomew. Emmett and Bartholomew were very close. You could almost say they were twins. They loved to play with each other every day. However, their family had always warned them never to go near the water. The boys always obeyed this rule, but they didn't understand why this rule existed in the first place. But they obeyed it nonetheless. However, one day, the boys were playing with a ball. They were kicking it around when Emmett kicked it too hard and it landed in the sea. Bartholomew and Emmett didn't know what to do. They were always told never to go into the sea, but they liked that ball, so Emmett volunteered to get the ball back. However, since they never went into the water before, they did not know how to swim. Emmett swam closer and closer and closer to the ball. He managed to get the ball back, and on his way back, he tripped on a rock and fell face first into the ocean. Bartholomew could see this and went to go help Emmett. However, Bartholomew didn't know how to swim either, so he and Emmett were both drowning. Their family had a farm nearby. Their mother and father were gathering crops for tonight's supper. By the time the family got back, they realized Bartholomew and Emmett hadn't returned. They went outside to see that they were drowning in the ocean. They tried to get them back, but it was no good. The ocean waves were too strong. Bartholomew and Emmett were no more. The mother blamed herself, realizing she should have told them the real reason they couldn't go into the ocean. She blamed herself, and the month after their deaths, the mother committed suicide in her own home. The father passed away peacefully in 1965. However, the Northwestern Railway was already constructed by that time. The father had moved into a new house by then. Edward was running the Brendam branch, along with Boko, Derek, and Bill and Ben, who, Bill and Ben, are running the China clay pits. One day, Edward was peacefully puffing down the line with a passenger train to Brendam. So far, everything was going well, until it happened. Edward was just peacefully puffing down the branch line. He was almost at Brendam Station when he saw 3 trucks in front of him. "Driver, brake!" yelled Edward. The driver put on the brakes, but it was no use. "Ah," said Edward. "Who did that?" Soon, Bill and Ben rolled up. "Ha ha, we got you, Edward," said Bill. "Oh my," said Ben. "What happened?" "What do you mean, what happened? It's obvious that you two caused this accident." "We're sorry, Edward. We didn't mean to cause the accident. We didn't know you were going to crash." "Yeah, we're sorry, Edward," said the twins. "It's alright, but you two are probably going to get in a lot of trouble." And angry the Fat Controller was. "You two shall stay here until Edward is back on the rails. Rocky is at the works, so is Harvey, and the breakdown train are currently helping another accident, meaning Edward shall stay here all night. As punishment, you two will stay with Edward until someone can come and clean up the mess. And after the mess is cleaned up, you two can go back to your sheds until I can trust you again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, said Bill and Ben, and the Fat Controller walked away. Soon then, Salty rolled up. Army hearties, what happened here? I don't know. Ask Bill and Ben, said Edward. We're sorry, Edward. We told you like a million times. You better be careful tonight, said Salty, or else the Boys of Brendam might get you. The Boys of Brendam? Asked Ben. What are the Boys of Brendam? Said Bill. Well, me hearties, said Salty. It goes a little something like this. A long time ago, long before Brendam Docks was constructed, there lived a little family in a cottage. They had two boys named Bartholomew and Emmett who were very close with each other. One day, Bartholomew and Emmett were playing ball outside the house. Their family was out on the farm getting crops for supper tonight. But Emmett kicked the ball too hard, and the ball rolled into the ocean. Emmett went to go get it. However, Emmett tripped on a rock, and Bartholomew had to go get him. But they didn't know how to swim. They were always told never to go into the water. Soon they started to drown. By the time their parents got back to the house, they realized that their boys were gone. They saw them drowning in the water. They tried to save them, but the waves were too strong and carried the boys out to shore, never to be seen again. Some may say, on the date of their deaths, you could see them out haunting Brendam Docks, messing with everything they see in sight, sometimes even causing death. So, what do y'all think of my story? It's very scary, said Bill. It's the most terrifying story I ever heard, said Ben. Oh, don't listen to him, said Edward. It's just a story, they're not true. Edward's right, but you never know. Maybe they are true. You never know. And Salty rolled away back to Cranky. Edward, do you think that story is true? Asked Ben. Of course not, said Edward. Salty always tells stories like that, and they never turn out to be true. I suggest we don't worry about it. All right then, said Bill. But the twins were kind of nervous. They didn't know whether the story was true or not. That night, Edward, Bill, and Ben were all at Brendam Docks. Bill and Ben were looking after Edward since Edward was off the rails. They were told to stay there and make sure nothing would happen. All of them went to sleep that night. However, Ben woke up to a mysterious pitter-patter on the floor. What was that? Asked Ben. What was what? Asked Edward, who awoken from Ben's question. I heard someone running on the floor. Yeah, I heard it too, said Bill. It was probably nothing, said Edward. Go to sleep. You're probably having nightmares about Salty's story. Yeah, Edward's right, Ben. We should just go to sleep. All right. But when they went back to sleep, they heard it again. What was that? Asked Bill. Oh, come on. You seriously believe Salty's story? It's just a story. Now calm down. Now just go back to sleep. Edward was starting to get fed up. However, Edward heard it too eventually. Wait, what was that? Asked Edward. See, we told you. The story's not fake. Salty was real. Salty was really telling us the truth. There are two boys trying to get us. Calm down. There must be a simple explanation to this. It's probably just workmen lurking around. But Bill and Ben weren't convinced. Then they heard the feet again. Alright, seriously, who's there? Show yourself! Then it happened. Is that a child's laugh? See, what we tell you, the story is true, yelled Ben. We're getting the frick out of here, said Ben. But they had no steam. Their driver and fireman had shut off the steam and had nowhere to run. They were stuck. Oh no, what are we going to do, Ben? I don't know, Bill. Everyone calm down, said Edward. There has to be a simple explanation to all of this. There's a simple explanation for everything. Maybe. However, Edward was starting to doubt even his own words. Then, Bill felt something jump in his cab. Wait, what hopped into my cab? Then, Bill started to roll back. Oh no! Help! I'm rolling back! Wait, what? Bill, get back here! Yelled Edward. But Bill was still rolling back. Bill kept rolling back. More and more. He couldn't stop. Oh no! Someone help me! Yelled Bill. But there was no one on the dockside to hear him. Bill was starting to approach a pier. Oh no! What's gonna happen? Asked Ben. Bill couldn't stop. Then he felt the thing in his cab jump out and hear a splash. What was that? Asked Bill, but it was too late. Bill! Yelled Ben. Bill splashed into the sea. Then they heard that child's laugh again. Oh no, Edward, what are we gonna do? Asked Ben. Alright, Bill, Ben, just stay calm, okay? Okay, everything's gonna be alright, okay? Just calm down, okay? Then Ben felt something hop in his cab. Oh no, Edward, there's that child's laugh again. Then Ben started to roll back. Oh no, Edward, what's going on? And then Ben crashed off the same pier that Bill fell off. Edward was now all alone. He could now hear footsteps all over the place. It sounded like two people walking around him. Oh no, looks like Salty's ghost story was true. Go away, you fellow ghosts! You are not welcome here! There is no place on the earth for you anymore! You must return back to where you came from! Then, Edward heard a whisper. This is where we came from! Edward jumped! What? Who said that? Show yourself! Then, two ghostly figures stood right in front of Edward. Edward went pale. His shiny blue paint soon started to turn white from fear. Who are you? Who are you? What do you want from me? The boys in front of Edward said nothing. They just vanished into thin air. Edward was terrified. He wanted to puff away in fear, but he knew he had to stay behind and make sure they didn't do anything to Bill and Ben who fell off the pier. And also he was stuck there because Bill and Ben made him crash. Edward's driver and fireman had went home, and so Edward couldn't talk to them. Edward was all alone all night, until the next morning when the breakdown train finally arrived to help Edward. Bill and Ben were lifted out of the water by the breakdown train. The fat controller was there. He was very cross. Bill and Ben, What happened? You were supposed to be looking after Edward since you made him crash, and no one was available to help him. What happened? But Bill and Ben weren't responding. They were pale, with a bland face. Bill? Ben? What's wrong? The Fat Controller went to talk to Edward about it. But Edward was just as pale as Bill and Ben. I guess something, happened here last night. Until you're ready to talk about it, I shall send you to the works to be repaired. And the Fat Controller walked away, unsure of what he should say. A few days later, Bill and Ben had to take a goods train to Natford Shunting Yard. Edward was there, getting ready with a passenger train to take to Teignmouth. Bill, Ben, and Edward all looked at each other. So, what was that? Asked Edward. We don't know, asked Bill. We don't know who those people were, said Ben. Do you really think Salty's story was true? Maybe. It had to be, said Bill, scared for his life. What are we gonna do now, Edward? Asked Ben. Now those little boys are gonna keep bothering us. I don't know what we're gonna do, said Edward. They were all unsure what they should do. They never talked about it, except for that day. They decided never to speak about that day ever again. Well, every time they would go to Brendam Docks, they would always think of those two little boys. And from that day forward, Bill, Ben, and Edward would always remember of the Boys of Brendam.